yeah. Hold on. Listen, we're not even gonna get into the intro. I'm going straight for all you Gunners out there. All right. Listen, I don't even want to hear any Arsenal fans, any Gunners worldwide, nationwide, statewide, like universal wide. Don't ever talk to a Chelsea fan about no Champions League football ever until you get out of being yourselves virgins, because that is unacceptable. This is a table reserved for the elite of the football world. You guys do not sit at that table presently, nor will you sit at that table at the end of the season. So again, I do not want any Arsenal fan to even chat up to any Chelsea fan in regards to Champions League football. Let's leave it at that. Thank you. Now we may proceed with our regular and scheduled programming.
Whoa, yo, Tom, what was all that about? Holy, I did not see that coming, bro. Earlier, on the phone, for those who didn't know, me and Laurent had a nice, humble phone conversation earlier today. You know, it didn't seem like he was gonna be coming with this kind of energy. I said, yo, we're all gonna have a good, happy pod. Both our squads won, both our squads capitalized this week. And then this guy just starts off crazy like that, bro, coming for the Arsenal. Like, yo, what?
I think it's the me factor. I think when he sees my face smiling, he just goes on a tangent.
Do you want to explain yourself, sir? Like, what happened, bro? What did you have for dinner that got you so angry?
Milk?
Yeah, I actually did just consume a bit of milk just now, you know. But I think enough is enough, man. No, I truly think it's one of those where I think you guys have to win it to even have the audacity to even say anything in regards to that competition, right? Mind you, if I was in your position, I would wholeheartedly agree. Let us win it first before we can even talk about the competition itself. I think it's a fair point. I truly think it is a fair point.
Mehrdad, do you want to say anything?
If I speak, I will be in trouble.
Please, please, please.
So,
We want
I I I already got called emotional, so I'd rather
oh,
not let my emotions.
come on, come on, man. The fa Listen, you tell me what makes you think that for a competition you guys have never won, what makes you think you can even, like on what grounds could you even make a case to, right? Just like how you like to say when it's what like I don't know, like little boy this, little boy, right? You guys are the bigger club, right? Because you feel like you've achieved things that we probably haven't achieved, right? Like the invincible season, for example, right? So it's the same context in this situation. We've achieved something that you guys have not achieved, right?
Like
So
I said,
what I would say to that is,
Hmm.
if you check the Opta statistics, forget the Opta even, just the naked eye, or go ask anybody, right? Fans, the likes, everybody who watches football, who is more likely to win the Champions League in its current season? As you always say, we're not talking about history lessons, FC history. That in the present, who has more credibility to talk about the Champions League? Who is more likely to win the Champions League?
That's funny that you bring that up because funny enough, I think when Opta made that same prediction last year, the team that was predicted to win it, I don't think won it, right?
Hmm.
no.
Wait, I'm hearing two different answers.
Wasn't it P no, it
Uh,
wasn't PSG.
yeah, it wasn't PSG. I know for a fact because we had this on the
It
podcast.
was Barca, I believe.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. So again, right? It's all preemptive. Anything can happen from now till then. So that's what I'm saying. Wait until you lift it, you know? Wait until you lift it, and by all means, your V card will be forever, forever abolished. And at that point, yes, we may converse, we may dine and wine in the same table with the other bourgeoisie that is of the elite in this European competition.
CJ, it's I just find it comical whenever there's no other discussion to be had. When Arsenal win and when Arsenal have a good weekend, the conversation turns into style this, style that. You never won a European championship. You never done this. the hate and the agenda against Arsenal is it honestly after this weekend, it actually warms my heart. I want all the hate. I want to be the hated team. Because you know what? We're good at it. I was listening to a few other podcasts and they compared Arsenal to Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid that you all three of us have spoken off air and I've said that I respect Simeone so much because he won the La Liga when Messi and Ronaldo were there, right? He's been there for what, like I think 15 years or so. And he's always there and thereabouts. He got to a finals, which he lost to Madrid. He's won Europa. He's won the Copa del Rey. They slapped up Barcelona. They survived the second leg of the Copa del Rey. So if that's if that's what if that's a rhetoric that rival fans want to talk about, and you got a no-name coach acting like a complete sore loser and talking rubbish like he's never seen a team do the dark arts, like bring it on. Bring it on. Because if anything, the way I look at it, if I was this no-name coach, and I'm not going to even give him any time of day by saying his pathetic name, I would take it as respect. If you have the champions elect coming to your stadium and trying to waste time, trying to buy their time to try to get to full time, I would take that as a compliment that I've done something right with my team, that they're just trying to kill the time. Versus looking at it the other way and trying to make this agenda. And you look like an absolute idiot. Right? And to kind of bring this back to what Laurent is saying, by all means, let it, sure. Say whatever you want to say. But I know, not even deep down, I know you would bite our hands off to be in the position that we are and the way that our club is being run. Because no matter what you want to say, where Chelsea is right now, and you've said it before, your club is run next to Spurs, which they're a complete joke themselves. Chelsea, for the amount of money that they've spent, it's a joke how that club is run. I don't know if you saw the interview recently, Laurent, when Todd Bowley literally said, "Oh, City wanted Marco Correa. Well, if they want him, I want him," and they went and bought Marco Correa. If that is the type of like scouting you're doing, you're waiting to see what other club wants a player, and then you're gonna go get him. That's what you did with Mudryk. We wanted him, then all of a sudden you wanted him,
The
right?
big context you're missing in that.
What's the context that we're missing here in that?
And I actually take this from the video you sent. Um, and at the time when Blue and Co took over, the the previous team that was there was no longer there. So essentially, he had to act as sporting director for a certain period of time. And obviously, right, you come in, you buy a club, you do not have the experience of being a sporting director. And in essence, yeah, right. So that's what he used to describe that type of purchase or that type of
But let
desire
me
to.
ask you a question, if I may. If roles were reversed, who would you blame?
What,
If you're gonna go make a purchase, right? Let's just say we're gonna go make a purchase of about a vehicle. And before the fact, you didn't know that, oh, the gas mileage is gonna be bad. You only found that out after you got in the role that you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know this. Are you gonna blame the car? Or are you gonna blame the person who bought it who didn't have a contingency plan?
yeah, but in that type of situation, usually you do not have like there's no room for contingency because you have who are you going to defer to? There's no sporting director there.
I no, I agree with you, but if you know that you're gonna purchase a club and you know that you're not gonna keep the same sporting director and the people there, that's on you to not have a contingency plan going into purchasing a club. Going in to say, hey, I'm purchasing this, I want you in line to be my sporting director as soon as we buy the club. Because
Yeah, but I mean,
if roles are reversed, I'll be honest with you, you would probably say that, oh well, that's Todd Bowley's fault. He didn't have a game plan for getting going in.
yeah, but again, right? I mean, like Mike Tyson likes to say, and I know you like to be compared
Bro,
to
I'll bite your fucking ear off.
listen, man. I'm Evander Holyfield in that ring, bro. We can go toe to
Yeah,
toe,
okay.
12 rounds. You know what I mean? But
Hey, pause, 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 pause.
yeah. uh,
Yo, CJ, he's coming fucking wild today, bro. Some of the shit he was saying off air and on air. Jeez, bro. What
don't
was in
kill
that
me.
milk, bro?
Yeah, yeah, no, some extra protein. But no, like I do think, right, it's a fair point that you make, right? In a sense, in terms of being prepared, right? Personally, I don't know the exact and I don't think anyone knows, right? The exact circumstances that came into it when they did go out and look to purchase, whether or not there's even time, right, to have someone come in, right, and act as a sporting director or someone, right, with the right
Mhm.
credentials. Um, Personally, you're right. Like maybe you keep them there. And that's the other question is, well, did the sporting directors decide to leave or were they taken out?
Correct.
That's the other
Yeah,
question, right?
correct.
And depending on what the answer to that, right, there's a different way to look at it.
But
But
also,
mhm,
just on that thought, because I want to add on to exactly what you just said.
mm,
But also, for someone like Todd Bowley being the owner,
mm,
similar to Sir Jim Ratcliffe,
mm,
there's certain things that you just don't say to the media. Now, I'm not going to get involved in what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said because I don't think he needs airtime because he's an absolute bigot for what he
mm,
said.
mm.
Um, but for Todd Bowley, you could have twisted it in a different way, right? The way that he said it, which I think his intention was what you're saying, not what I'm saying.
Mm,
However, when you look at new rival fans, of course they're going to twist it. If you look at it as a neutral, yeah, you can kind of see it from the point of view you're saying,
mm.
but also like if you're a successful billionaire that is able to purchase these clubs, you've been successful because you've had a contingency plan for a lot of things. Why is it that all of a sudden when you go buy a big club, you're just like, oh, I'll just do it. And City want him, I'll get it. Arsenal want him, I'll get it.
I will say this because even in that when we talk about like just overall investments and whatnot, right? Yes, you assume that if you get to that level, right, there's a certain level of detail that is followed when it comes to investments. But you'd actually be surprised as to sometimes people get lucky, right? Because you don't always have the perfect information, right, when making decisions. In a case like this again, right? Personally, it's one of those questions that I think the host should have asked, right? Exactly what you were asking now, right? Um, but funny enough, if you do find yourself in a position like that where, well, you don't have the sporting directors and now you're forced to make a decision, it's not entirely the worst case scenario to do what he did, right? Because if you're going off, even if you're investing, right? What's a good way to invest? Maybe you just buy an investment that follows the biggest markets, right? That trades. You just buy the S&P 500. You see what I'm saying? Because you know that in there are tracked the top performers, right? So so I think it's that kind of decision that he made, right? Well, if these guys are the top performers and they're looking to buy it, certainly they've done their due diligence, right, on their end, and they have the sporting directors. So maybe I could get lucky, right, in terms of making a purchase that way. And I think that most likely was the rationale that was used in a situation like that. But
I just
apart from
don't think he should have said it the way that he
mm,
said it.
right,
Because I
right,
think the way that you're saying it, if he had said it something like that,
mm,
you
right,
know,
right, yeah, because I feel like when you kind of look at it, it almost seems like there's a bit of incompetence there.
of
Um,
course, of
right, right,
course. And if I'm a Chelsea fan, I look at that and I'm like, what other decisions were made,
mm,
a la Mikhailo Mudryk,
right,
like, and some of the other decisions that were made, Garnacho and Madueke, that I'm
mm,
looking at it being like, like where did that come from?
mm.
Like Romeo Lavia. Sure, he's a good prospect because he's so young, but like if you guys had a player that it was more readily available when Caicedo gets red cards every 3 games, maybe it would have helped your midfield a little bit more. right? Maybe if you invested instead of investing in a Garnacho and you kept Madueke and you guys had Mark Gahey, how would that have changed your season? Right? So when he says something like that, the only place my mind goes is what other stupid decisions has he made that's hurt the club, right? And when I bring it tie back to Arsenal, the reason why I'm saying that you and a lot of rival fans that are like saying our style is this, our style is that, is because there's really nothing else that you can point to. Arsenal have actually figured it out. Whether the building is 70 stories tall or 10 stories, it doesn't matter.
Wait,
We
what is it
figured
exactly that they figured out?
we figured out how to run the club properly from top to down, and we're
Mm.
getting to a position where our academy is doing well, our women's team is doing well, our finances are well, we're competing in all competitions, and the investment that we put into the club, it's actually paying off. A lot of clubs put investments. Look at United, look at Chelsea, and there's still holes in that club. You can't lie. You guys spend $2 billion, but there's still a lot of holes in your club.
Mm.
United, we don't even need to talk about how many holes there is. And Julian, this one's for you. Man, you know, talk to me when you can beat Newcastle. Just put it that way. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these rival teams are just doing this. Bro,
Listen,
bring it
you
on. I
s-
love it. I love
speak
that energy.
speak for the other rival teams, but the guys in blue, right? We do this while we're holding the silverware in the other hand. All
You
right,
can you can do
so
this with your silverware, but you can't do this when you're talking to us. When was the last time you
yeah,
beat
we
us?
can. Yeah, we
When was
can.
the last time you beat us?
Because I think, sorry, to your first point, and again, right, if you wanted for me to answer that question, I don't know if it was how many years ago, right? You can fact check that. But to answer the point, or to add on to the point that you say, I think you can only claim success up to that point, right? In terms of everything that your club has done, once you start piling on the trophies. Because at the end of the day, right, if you're only competing, if you only find yourself where we're in good positions, but you're not bringing it home, then again, funny enough,
Okay,
there are still
fair,
holes in
fair.
what you guys are doing.
Okay, fair. Now, what happens if at the end of the season we I've already predicted it that we're going to win the Premier League. You asked me if we're going to win the Champions League, and I said yes. And in 2 weeks' time, if we win the EFL Cup, what are you going to say then?
So I think then that there would be evidence to support that claim that you're making.
Okay, done. So then maybe we hold this conversation until we win the EFL Cup, and then at the end of the year when we're crowned the Premier League champs.
I agree. I agree. And in the meantime, I'll be holding my Club World Cup, and then I'll see you then
And
at
I'll
that
just be
position in
holding
2 weeks.
this up to you, just to remind you how many games it's been.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Um,
I think the only, honestly, I think the only clubs that can chat to us in the Premier League at the moment are Man City and Liverpool, to be honest. Like, I don't think anyone else has any say unless you're going to give us like history lessons. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we were given shit for all these years when we were not competing and we were in our banter era and this and that. Um, everyone was saying, "Oh, yeah, Arsenal's like history FC, right?" Once upon a time, it was Liverpool. They were history FC before, they won their first Premier League in 2020, and it took them 30 years to win their first league title in 2020. So we're on course for, we're not quite at 30. We're at about 20. If we win it this year, it'll be 21 years, 22 years since we won it. So we didn't quite hit the 30 mark. However, yeah, I mean, History FC, right, is now, as I said to you guys before offline, it's funny how History FC has now become relevant for clubs like Man U and Chelsea. When they were shitting on us, right, in the early 2000s, when Man U and Chelsea were winning Premier Leagues and we were just, riding on the history coattails. Now you guys are doing the same. I was listening to something the other day. It's almost 10 years since Chelsea, won the Premier League.
mhm.
And the fact that they spent £2 billion and no one's talking about it, really, Chelsea just getting away with it. They were meant to be in a title race this year off the back of a Club World Cup, quote unquote, that they're going to claim and that you guys are going to claim. Meanwhile, you're claiming trophies that clubs like Arsenal didn't even take part in, first of all. So it's like it's not even really a fair comparison because not all the best clubs were in the competition. So you can't really one up that one over us. We didn't even get to compete in it against you guys, but that's another story.
And here comes his comment. Well, how did you compete in it? Oh, you have to win the champion. That's the bullshit that he's thinking to respond to that, CJ.
Yeah, yeah, no, and yeah, I just think that like I said, with the trophies that matter, right? When we're talking about the Premier League and the Champions League specifically, for big clubs like Man United, like Chelsea, You guys got to win that. And in recent terms, right, we're talking about relatively recently, you guys got to win
I think
those things. And
2021 is fairly recent.
okay, so we're talking 5 years. Okay, so 5 years since you guys have won the Champions League. Fair enough. Your domestic form has quite tailed off since then. But like
I
I
would
said,
agree
that
to that. I would agree to that.
and
2017,
those
probably
things,
last time you won the Premier League.
yeah, you're pushing almost 10 years for the money you spent, and that should be talked about more, right? That should be it can't be just kind of brushed under the rug how poor Chelsea has been competing. Um, in England and in the Premier League. And I'm going to include the Champions League in that as well, because obviously you guys have been in and out of the Champions League when since you guys have last won it. It hasn't been consistent. So for a club of your size and your stature, that should be a year in, year out thing, no? With the money that's being spent, this and that. Dropping all the way to the Conference League. I mean, we've never even participated in the Conference League. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I think if we're talking about recent, consistency and recent, you know, recent more of a recency bias, Liverpool and Man City are the only clubs that can really say anything to us. That's the way I see it. Because from a Chelsea perspective, like I said, Champions League should be year in, year out, at least
Yeah.
competing in that tournament. And Premier League, obviously, yeah, like you guys are pushing almost double digits now for you guys to win that. When once upon a time we were criticized for going 10 years without winning the league. So
Mhm.
that's my thing. And the way you came on strong in this to open up the podcast, I don't appreciate because one win now has you guys gassed. When you're forgetting right before that last win, I ended off the last podcast by saying ownership. As Mehrdad said, 11 in a row. You cannot come in here and diss us Arsenal fans after you guys have been getting dealt with, bending over backwards, pause, and getting slapped on your backside by Arsenal Football Club. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you? Chelsea fans being getting dealt with like that. Like, what are you talking about?
Listen, I think that aside, bro, I think my point in regards to that competition specifically still stands. Because it's a valid point. It is truly a valid point.
Which competition? Sorry.
The Champions League, it is a valid point. And you guys would express the same sentiment. If you guys were to win it, you would express the same sentiment with any other fans that were chat to you about that competition had they not won it in that case. And it's a valid point for you guys then too, right?
Well, let's shift gears a little bit because the competition doesn't start back until next week, and our listeners and viewers want to hear about Arsenal going 7 points clear. A very gritty 1-0 win at the Amex. CJ, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm.
I was prepared to come in on this pod after that win. Even after all the bullshit that goofball said pre-match, and be like, you know what, Brighton, hands like you guys. If we drew that game, I would have been like, okay, but hands up, like they played extremely well and they always cause us problems. But after the bullshit that goofball said post match, and after the way that he was interacting with our bench, Mikel, Hincapie, and I love Hincapie's reaction to tell him to shut up. Like that's cold. He laughed at him, turned around, and he went like this. Told him to shut up. Like if you were a manager that had pedigree, had some substance to your name, and you were saying something like that, by all means, maybe I would listen. Maybe I would even respect you enough by saying your name. You're a
Fab
goof.
Fabian, put
I
this
have
over there.
no idea what that is. All I see is goof. Goofy? That's what that idiot looks like. You're coming out and like spewing bullshit, trying to make a narrative for yourself to make you feel better. And to be honest with you, we've seen this, CJ, in the Netflix series when Ivan Tony made that infamous tweet. I promise you, I'm willing to bet any amount of money that for the pre-match speech that Arteta gave to the boys, he put up his press conference. I promise you anything that's what Arteta did. Because the amount that the ball was out of play, we have not seen Arsenal do that. And the amount of time they were taking and Raya going down 3 times, we haven't seen that all year. We've seen a little bit of it, a little bit of time wasting here and there, but 30 minutes that Arsenal took to restart the game, I promise you the directive was Keep doing it. Get under their skin. And it worked. It clearly worked. Because the goof was losing his mind on the sideline. I'm shocked he didn't get a red card. To be honest with you, I'm shocked he didn't get a red card. The way that he was speaking to the fourth official, the way that he was yelling at the ref, I'm shocked he didn't get a red card. Um, but for me, job done. This was one of the harder games. Um, Obviously, the Etihad is coming. That's going to be a hard game in itself. But like, this is huge. On top of the fact that City played at the same time and they dropped points, and they're lucky to not drop all 3 points. I don't know if you guys. Well, I mean, I was watching them simultaneously, um, but it was very close that City were going to drop all 3 points because there's a few good chances that Elliot Anderson had. So that's what I have to say about the game. Like, it's really sad, um, because I was willing to concede, but just hearing that bullshit, man, like, go fuck yourself. And again, I will not say his name, so one of you can fill in who I'm saying go fuck yourself.
Fabian Hutzler, for
Hmm.
those at home wondering.
So I'll give the floor to you, CJ. I'm, you know, done talking about the goofball. He's on the hit list now
Um,
too. He joins Arnie Slot.
yeah, I think that one's valid. Not so much Mr. Arnie Slot just yet. I still have a little bit of sympathy for that guy. Um, but Fabien, what's his name, Laurent?
Fabian Hutzler.
You know,
aka
Fabien Hutzler.
Goofball.
Yeah. Listen, I'm impressed, Laurent, that you know him by first and last name. But also, I'm not surprised. I expect you to because after all, that is Chelsea's feeder club, the B team, Chelsea B team, Brighton and Hove Albion. Um, anyways, yeah, I mean, fine margins, right? Um, I think yesterday was a defining moment in the title race, if I'm being honest. And I actually agree with you on a couple of things. I agree with the fact that I feel all Arsenal fans actually will would feel the same in the sense that, if you're watching that game from, minute 1 to minute 90, you're thinking what the football was poor, it was a shit watch, we can't carry on playing like this, and that. But afterwards, it's like when you hear the things that Hertzler's saying, it kind of makes you as an Arsenal fan base and as a club, kind of want to unite and stand together and say, well, fuck you, respectfully. This is the shit that you're gonna talk. Listen, well, I'll stand by how we're playing if it gets us over the finish line, right? As we said before, if you're gonna win the Premier League, at the end of the day, who really cares about how you've done it, right? All that you're gonna see in 2026, Arsenal Premier League champions. No one's going to care that you played poorly against Brighton and still won, or no one's going to care that you played against Chelsea poorly and still won, right? No one cares about the individual games throughout the season. We're not going to go and break down the context of each individual game during the season. All that's going to be said and done um, is Arsenal Premier League champions 2026. Go and ask the good Chelsea sides 0405 when Mourinho was coaching them if they played good football. No, they just got over the line. You know what I mean? And all that we know in those years is that they won the Premier League. Um, same kind of scenario here. I've obviously been a critic of Arteta and the style of play, and it hasn't been a joy to watch. But I'm at this point in time where, like, listen, Thierry Henry said it best earlier in the year in his punditry. We've asked Arteta to win the league, right? Since he's been here. Do it. Just do it by hook or by crook, right? No one cares how you done it. If you do it, all the power to you. At this point, it doesn't need to play to be attractive football if we can finally win it, right? We played pretty football under Arsene Wenger. We had a soft underbelly under Arsene Wenger in the latter years in our banter era,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't win anything. So, you know what I mean? If Arteta can win us the Premier League in his own way, even if the football is ugly or it's not the most attractive or it's not the most easy on the eye, again, all we'll have is the trophies beside our name, and then who's going to really care? When we were playing pretty football under Arsene Wenger, but we were getting slapped because we didn't have a spine or a backbone when we went away to the top six clubs in the league, right? When we went to the Chelseas or the Man Uniteds, and we used to get slapped up because we played pretty football but didn't have any defensive structure. Everybody was all nicey to us. Oh, we like Arsenal. Why? Because Arsenal's not a threat. They play good football, but they're not winning any leagues. So, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
reverse psychology, right? Yeah, we like Arsenal. They play cute, attractive football, but they're not a threat. So we'll big them up. Now, when you've asked Arsenal, right? When people have asked Arsenal to have a bit of a spine, have a little bit of a nasty streak, have a little bit of a ruthless aggression about them, and it's we're thriving off of it in terms of our stature in all competitions. Now it's they play poor, ugly football and it's not attractive, and I wouldn't want to coach my team like this. It's like you guys have been asking for us to have that side of us for years. And here we are now, and now it's still being criticized. And you know what that is? That's when you're a threat to other teams and to other clubs and to other managers. Once you become a threat and you're threatening the powers that be, and you're
Hmm.
threatening the top end of the table in the right way, that's when people start talking their shit. And it's fair enough. So listen, man, I'm all here for it if it means that we're gonna win this league and we're gonna win trophies playing this way. I'm here for it. I'm just at the point where just win me these trophies because that's more important. At this point in the season results is more important than performance. Let's just be honest. Results is more important than performance. I don't
Especially for
care.
a team that hasn't done it for the past 3 years, that one can argue and say the first year that
Yeah,
we're there and
absolutely.
thereabouts, we played beautiful
Yeah,
football, but it didn't get us over the line.
yep,
The second year, we tried to shift a little bit, still didn't work. The
yep.
third year, we tried to do a little bit of it, but then with injuries, we started to play ugly. It almost worked, but then the injuries just came thick and fast.
Yep.
So, no, you said it pretty good, man. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think inadvertently, Fabian, actually, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say the full name. I had to pause myself. What the goofball is going to do is he's going to bring the team and the fans together more because now everyone understands like it's us against the world. We already thought it was like that, but now it's confirmed,
Yeah, it's confirmed for sure.
right? So I don't
It's
know.
just it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shame, man. Like we're definitely we're not liked. Let's be honest. Let's just tell the truth here. We're not liked.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, therefore, we have to unite at this moment in time. And because the sour grapes, right, around us, it's just gonna be even sweeter if we can get over the line, right? So that's why we have to unite. We're 8 games to glory at this point, and I think obviously yesterday. The results of yesterday around us, right? And I'm talking about the title race specifically that further cemented my renowned confidence, I guess. Because again, I think if we had won the game, but City won the game, then I'm still kind of nervous. Then I'm still kind of, because again, I'm thinking, can we really afford to, keep playing this way? In the build up to the game at the Etihad, we're gonna have to do something a little bit different because, and I stand by
Mhm.
this. If we want to get any result at the Etihad, I don't think we can sort of play defensive football and play reserved
No.
over there or for 90 minutes the way we did yesterday. I think or we'll get found out because they have a much they have potency in attack. So we can only invite that sort of pressure for so long in that game. I think we'd have to switch up our but again, with them dropping points yesterday, again, once 90 minutes hit in our game, I didn't even care. And I don't ask me to watch the highlights back. I will not be looking at the highlights back of that game. We won the game. You get the 3 points and you get out of there. Considering City dropped points, that is a massive 3 points, and I don't care how we got it. I think it's just yesterday was just such a big defining day in the
Yeah.
title race. Honestly, like that. I think yesterday was one of the biggest, if not the biggest win of the season, considering off the back of, right? And I said this to you guys after Wolves, we had a 3 game stretch where we're like, okay, if you drop points to bottom of the league, now you have to go away to your North London rivals, then you have to go play in Chelsea, your other London rivals, and then you play Brighton away. That is a difficult 3 game stretch. To get 9 points out of nine out of that, and the Brighton one being the last of the three away from home, a couple of days after you just played a tough game against Chelsea, your London rivals. Um, Arteta said it. Some of those players barely even trained in between games. That's such a quick turnaround time. And you go away to one of your bogey teams, a team that has,
Had your number.
historically, yeah, and historically had your number in the past and has caused us problems in the past. Um, you can tell you saw it. That some of the guys out there were leggy. The guys out there were fatigued. Early on in the game, and I think that showed. And again, we got out of there somehow with the 3 points. I think that is honestly a massive 3 points in this
This
race.
was the
And I
game that
think,
you and I both predicted. Sorry, CJ. This was the game that you and I both predicted a few weeks back, a few pods back, that this was going to be the game that we drop points.
yeah, yeah,
Remember? We
Yeah.
both predicted that we're going to be Wolves. We both predicted we're going to be Spurs. We both predicted we're going to be Chelsea. Laurent laughed at us, and we both said this is going to be the game that we're going to draw points because again, Brighton have had our number. And you got to call a spade a spade. That's why I was willing to concede to come on this pod and say that, not that we were lucky, but if we got a draw, I would have understood. But
Yeah.
then when that goofball says what he says, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're a sore loser.
Yeah, no, and to be honest with you, like I said, I was telling you guys all day, I said it in a couple of the group chats. I just had a bad feeling about that game, to be honest with you. But how fine the margins are, right? Like I know you said Forest had chances to win, but City had chances to win in the
Yeah, that
dying seconds,
clearance.
right? And these things make all the difference. Murillo clears it off the line in the 97th minute. I mean, if Savino puts that shot either side of Murillo, there's nothing he can do about it. That goes in, and then all of a sudden the pressure's back on. City win the game. They get out of there with a
Yeah.
3-2, and we're still kind of, our breathing room is gone. So that's how fine the margins are. David Ryan in the early moments of that game, if his mistake led to a goal, which arguably should have, I don't know what their guy Baleba was doing. He should have just put that in the back of the net and instead of trying to be cute and chip it over him. Um, again, we're talking about probably a different game, to be honest with you. And there you go,
Yeah.
we drop points and City wins. You know what I mean? Like it's such fine margins. Unfortunately, we were on the right end of the stick yesterday. Um,
Um,
but just quickly about the performance itself. Like, what did you think of the actual game? Like, any talking points in the game for you? Anything that
poor,
you wanted to make note of?
poor. We just keep going back in our shell. And a part of me, part of me looks at it, and again, this game, again, because of all the rhetoric before the game, a part of me wants to think that it was just Arteta's directive to say go piss them off, score first and piss them off. However, we cannot play like this. Once we get to the Etihad, we cannot play like this, especially with the game that's coming in 2 weeks. EFL Cup, we cannot play like this. We have more quality than this. And all I'm going to chalk it up to is the fact that the games came thick and fast. We had two big games prior to this, and
Yeah,
Brighton, they're a good side.
yeah,
Um, so I'm really looking for a reaction. I'm not really worried about Mansfield, but I'm really looking for a reaction in the first leg against Leverkusen. I want to see if the guys can just put it away. Go up 3-0 so that in the reverse fixture you can rest.
Yeah.
That's my honest assessment. It was poor. I would have loved for us to, you score that first one, go for the second. Don't let them get into the game. Don't let the crowd get up.
yeah. No, I
But
hear you.
only caveat I'll say to that, I think there's also a part of it that we showed respect to Brighton because they're a good side. Their manager or coach or whatever is a goofball, but the players that they have, they are a good side. The likes of Minte, Baliba, uh,
Matoma.
yeah, Matoma, Jorginho, Ruter, right? Like they
Yeah, they
have
got some
they
good
have
players.
ballers, right? They have ballers, so you got to show them respect. Their manager's a goofball though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. You know what I was thinking too is, as you said, yesterday wasn't one to judge specifically about, okay, let's see a style of play, let's see a this, let's see that, because again, third game off the back of a tough 3-game stretch a couple days after Chelsea. It was just about getting out of there with the points. Guys are literally on their last legs. Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, so these little Timber, these guys are really, really fatigued, and you can see it. And I just applaud the guys even more for just being able to find that extra gear, even though you're running on empty, probably by halftime even, running on empty. Um, the fact that we were still able to just find a way, I couldn't be more proud, honestly, of that.
Yeah,
So I think now, to your point, that was one of those one-off games that you just get in there, get out with the points by any means necessary. Going forward, we have 2 games at home in the Premier League against Everton and Bournemouth. That is where we're at home. I'm looking for us to be on the front foot now. This is where I'm going to expect to want to see something different in
yeah,
terms of style of play. Take the game to them, right? We're going to be at home, as you said, in a cup final. A cup final is a one-off game. There's no hiding place. You can't afford to sit back and hope for the best in a cup final. In a cup final, you have to go and grab it. So let's see how we play in that cup final as
yeah,
well, right? So there's games coming up where we're going to have to take the game to the opposition, and so I'm going to be curious to see how Arteta's going to do it and try and approach it.
yeah. Around the Prem, Everton picked up like really. It was a good game for them. 2-0 against Burnley. Um, they're sitting in eighth spot. They are pushing for one of the European spots, Conference League. Um, they're 5 points behind their Merseyside rival Liverpool. Then they're 1 point behind Brentford, and 5 points behind Chelsea in fifth place. So they are making noise, and I predicted them that they're going to be the overachieving team this year, and it does look like they're doing pretty well. Like David Moyes has got a tune, and that Hill Dickinson Stadium does. It's really nice, man. Honestly, I see the aerial shots of the Hill Dickinson. I'm a little jealous. It's actually really nice with it being on the water side. So hopefully that turns out to be a fortress for them because um, Goodison was a fortress, and with the way the fans were like right on the pitch, that was a fortress. Um, Bournemouth Brentford. Did you guys watch this game?
No.
Oh my! Did you see any highlights? The scenes at the end of the game?
Uh, no, I did not. What
Oh.
happened?
There was like a full-on brawl and Jordan Henderson was in the middle of it. It
Really?
was yeah, yeah. I highly encourage you guys to go watch it. It was actually an intense game. There was a lot of back and forth. It was intense. Um, I enjoyed it for neutral. It was quite interesting. I think Brentford may like could have done a little bit better, but Antonio Areola, like he is gonna get another job. Like unless Bournemouth decides to spend a little bit of money and keep some of their talent, which I don't think they will, given where they're sitting in the table. Like I don't see them like they're sitting ninth. They're there and thereabouts, but I don't really see them pushing for a European spot. And if they somehow do, like their owner has to like, you know, has to give them money. Um, Sunderland. This was a crucial win for them. Um, 1-0 against Leeds at Ellen Road. There was a lot of controversy. The second half penalty. Um, I mean, I got to watch a little bit of the ending of this game too, and Leeds were just they had so many chances.
Yeah, I saw the end of this game too.
They had so many chances, and it's like you just said, fine margins. That's all it's about. And it looks like, I mean, with the way Nando's FC are playing, like it looks like they're gonna be the one that's gonna be an 18th spot after next week's Premier League fixtures because they're shite, and Leeds look like they're gonna be safe on 31 points right now. Um, Now another manager who is a goofball, and I've called him a goofball and a fraud. And you two are not respecting me, but you will respect me very soon when he gets sacked. This was another goofball that was talking about the style of play around the Premier League, talking about how he doesn't like watching football and this and that and this. Um, are you not entertained? This is the first time ever that the reigning champ has lost to the last place team. Are you not entertained? Is the style of play not good enough? You can take your style of play and no throw-ins and no corner kicks and blah 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 and be the worst defending champs ever. Twice. Twice Liverpool have been champs and twice they have been the worst defending champs. So you can take your style of play conversation and shove it up your ass because you got handled by Wolves and Wolves could have scored more. So like, and I'm talking about Wolves against Liverpool if for any listeners, viewers. Um, this was pivotal because if they had won, they would have jumped up, right? They would have jumped up into fourth spot. They would have put more pressure on Chelsea. They would have put more pressure on Manchester United. But now they left the door open. They left the door open for the likes of Everton. They left the door open for the likes of Brentford and Chelsea to put more pressure on Villa. Like, are you guys ever gonna agree with me that Arnie Slot is a fraud, or am I gonna just gonna have to wait until he gets sacked?
I think you're gonna have to wait until you get sacked.
Me personally, I think fraud is a strong word. I'm never gonna hate on him or give him the lack of credit that I think you give him because he's won a Premier League. At the end of the day, I'll always respect any manager who's able to go a 38 game campaign and win a Premier League. And I have to be consistent. The same way I say, you can't knock Arsenal and Arteta. If we were to go on to win the Premier League, I would say you can't knock us for how we've done it. Um, there's the same thing I'll say for Arne Slot and him winning Liverpool to win the league last season. It can't be, oh, well, he won it because the league is shit or because everyone else was poor or because it was Klopp's team. Like, for me, I'm going to remain consistent. If he won the Premier League, in the toughest league in the world, a Premier League that Klopp was only able to win one. So although it is his team and his players for the most part, he only won it once. So again, Slot came in his first season, he did it. He'll be able to carry that for the rest of his life. The same thing I said about Arsenal. If we win this year, all that it's going to be said in the history books is Arsenal Premier League champions 2026. The same thing Slot will be able to say for 2025, regardless of everything else around him. So I do think that he has underperformed this year and he's been poor, and he could well get sacked. I think at this point where we're at, though, I think he'll last the season because Liverpool isn't even a sacking club like that, and we are in March. So I think he'll last the season, and they're still in the Champions League, so whatever. He'll last the season, and maybe they'll revisit it in the summer. But I don't know. I don't know how Liverpool fans may feel differently, the majority of them, but I think he still deserves some sort of credit coming
My
to this league
issue
and getting
is
a crown.
is he spent the entire season talking about style of play that teams are playing Liverpool different and this and that. He talks about all these things, yet the eye test shows that he's not really doing anything to prepare his teams to be able to adjust. He's not doing anything because last year that was Klopp's team. I don't care what anybody says. Any Liverpool fan will say that was Klopp's team. And when we went to the gatherings, you saw the guy that was sitting with us that was a Liverpool fan. He himself said that was Klopp's team. Now, this year, this is his team. He's had an entire year, an entire transfer window to have players playing his style of football, and yet he's more concerned about the way other people are playing rather than him adjusting and adapting to the league. Every year there's something that changes about the league, and there's an adaptation for a lot of the managers. Some managers excel at it and some managers don't. And this year he's been found. Yes, I know everyone's screaming at the screen, being like, "Oh, well, you're not talking about injuries. You're not talking about injuries." That's part of the game. It happens. Look at Spurs. As much as I hate them, if they didn't have all those injuries, I highly doubt they would be in that position. Look at us last year, right? Look at Chelsea. Look at Bournemouth. It's part of the game. You still have to learn to adapt. You still have to trust your players. That's where my issue is. That's where I'm coming from. Calling it like I know it sometimes sounds like I'm just being biased, but like how much can you talk about other teams? Shut up and prepare your team. If you're talking about other teams, all they do is set pieces. Well, give a directive. Try not to concede corner kicks. Try not to concede so many free kicks in and around the box, or work on those. Because offensively, Liverpool are like in my opinion, they're arguably one of the better teams going forward. But like, it's a two-way game. It's not just attack.
I do
So
think he comes across as snobby in his press conferences. I think, clearly somebody's got to give him some better media training because his press conferences aren't the greatest. He does come across as a little bit snobby. Um, but I think on the Liverpool, Klopp's team thing, I mean, I hear both sides. Like I hear a lot of Liverpool fans that I talk to personally say that they give Slot the credit. And that the whole Klopp's team thing is not an excuse, which I stand on. I do believe that. I don't think that that's a factor. Like the whole it's Klopp's team thing because again, he wasn't handed, a Premier League winning team or a treble winning team, or like how Fergie, handed off a Premier League winning team to David Moyes the following year. He inherited a team that hasn't won it since 2020. Klopp couldn't do it after 2020 for whatever reason. So, he
hmm.
inherited a team that he finally took over and got the job done for them when it took Klopp a number of years to try and do it after the first one and he couldn't do it. Um,
Hmm.
that's the only reason why I still give him some sort of credit. But again, is he the greatest manager in the world slot? No, he's not. Definitely not. And I think there would be probably conversation that would need to be had at the end of this summer if he doesn't, you know, compete better. They have to get Champions League at the very minimum. I mean, that would be embarrassing for the club and the money
I
spent.
don't think they will. I truly don't. I know Villa's been sliding. I truly don't think they will. I think with the way that United don't have midweek games, and the way that Chelsea eventually like they're gonna banter aside, Laurent. I don't think you guys get past PSG, so you guys aren't gonna have much to focus on aside from the league. I can see top four being Arsenal, City, United, Chelsea, and then Villa in that fifth spot. So I have to drop that dig in there, you know.
We'll see come match day. We'll see come match day.
Um, Man City, we talked about this. They dropped points, drawing 2-2 against Forest at the Etihad. Damn,
No one saw that coming, huh?
damn,
Apparently they had a penalty shout.
they did.
Holland was taken down in the box by the opposition keeper.
They did, but it should have been booked as simulation. They didn't give the penalty. They did review it, but I'm
Mm,
shocked it wasn't booked as simulation because Sells came out and he went out. He missed the ball, but he's pulling his hands back, and Holland went into his body and he just fell. He didn't
mm,
drag him down.
mm.
Like
See?
those where you're like running at the keeper and you chip the ball around him
Mm,
and the contact's coming. Sells went, but he didn't
mm,
make contact. Holland just went, and because it was bang bang, he just fell on the ground. So he
mm.
should have been booked for simulation.
What
And
are we
then
saying here? That Holland is in the same drama classes as Raya and Gabriel.
no, he's
And
on the
Sanchez.
same.
Don't forget about Sanchez.
No, Kukurea.
Ah,
Relax,
yeah, him too.
Kukurea.
Mm.
But I think the one you may be talking about is the Rodri. Um,
Apparently, yeah, that too. I think was
yeah,
a penalty
both
shot.
players are going for the ball. But now here, listen, I hate City, and I hope the 115 or 116 and blah 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 gets, we finally find out what it is. But this is where the inconsistency, and I talked about in my um, post match for the Arsenal Chelsea game. This is where the inconsistency of VAR comes in. Because if you go back and look at that penalty shot for Rodri, that has been called. It's
Mm.
been reviewed by VAR and it's been called. So why is it not being called now? This is the inconsistency that a lot of fans, neutral fans, and even supporting fans are like, okay, like if it's not a penalty, then why was it called 2 weeks ago or a week ago or a game ago? But then why is it not a penalty now? That's the issue in all this. And CJ, there was another comment about all of the calls going against us.
From who?
Bernardo,
Uh,
like,
bunch of divas, eh? Those guys.
bro, if we said things like that, it would be all over. But have you heard anything about it before I told you right now?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear.
You know?
I like they can never like graciously lose a game, eh? Or graciously drop points. It's like there's always a reason why they drop points. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just take your L or your draw in this case and just move on, man. Fuck. Or just like
I think the goofball should take over Man City once Pep's gone. You know, they took the same PR classes. Um, West Ham, crucial win. And I said it too. I was joking with one of my Spurs friends. I was like, Fulham beat Spurs, and now they're gonna lose to West Ham just to ruin Spurs' day. Um, but wow, what a game!
which
What
one
a
of your
game!
Spurs friends? I'm curious to know. Do we know them?
You do know them, but I'd rather not say their name. They asked me not to share their name
Ah, okay,
on the
okay.
pod, live on the pod, and I have to respect them. I don't, they don't want to be ousted because
I'm just
cause,
curious that you know the Spurs fans. I'm just curious that they exist. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah. Oh, you guys know them. You guys know the Spurs fans. I know.
Well,
You
tell
do,
him or
CJ.
her I say my condolences.
Oh yeah, they were dropped on their head as babies. Same thing with Laurent choosing the wrong side of London. Now our pods are not scripted, but we do have notes that we try to have a little bit of structure. Now, in this note, you I will say verbatim what it says, and you will understand that it was not I or CJ that wrote this episode breakdown. It says Chelsea exclamation mark. Need we say more question mark? And then underneath it says say his name exclamation mark.
Let's
Wait,
fucking go.
big pause on that one,
Let's
by the way.
go. Let's go. We're
Big
going all
big
the
pause.
way. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Man, up to this point, this podcast was just somber. We're talking about what's happening to the beautiful game of football, dark arts this, dark arts that, everyone complaining left and right. And here at Chelsea FC, you get to watch the beautiful Joga Bonito. Mm, mm, mm. Goals left and right, passages of play, balls over the top, dribbles, step overs. Woo! Come on, man. Come on. Man, you know what? Chelsea is bringing the game back. That's what Chelsea's doing this season. Chelsea is bringing the game back with football to you guys. And that's what the fans want to see. That's what the fans want to see. And I can understand, from a certain perspective that the fans are sharing. Yes, what is happening to the dribbles, to the passes, to the flares? Because that's been taken away. And if we're being real, we have to bring that back.
Well, so what you're saying, make football great again?
Of course. Of course. Make football great again. Joga bonito, the beautiful game. Play beautifully, right? And on the back of that, I definitely want to give two thumbs up to our boy, João Pedro. For those of you who don't know, João Pedro achieved a record that is massive for the club. He has exceeded Didier Drogba's goal contribution in less games, right? Didier had about, I think it was 16 in 41 games for his debut season. Pedro about 17 in about 37, I believe. So in four less games.
I heard
And
Gyökeres did the same. I'm not even bantering. I heard Gyökeres was the same. Well, I'll continue.
we did the same what?
Like had better numbers in his first season than Drogba in his first season as well.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were doing club like respective club legends. So maybe you can use Henri as a benchmark to see.
Well, no,
What.
because I don't think his numbers were better than Henry's in his first season. We'll have to fact check it, but
Mm.
I just heard that recently. I just sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, fair enough. Listen, once you're sure of the stats, by all means, you can come back and then double down on it, right? Because I'm still
There it
sensitive.
is. Ah.
I'm
It'll
still
be in the group
sensitive.
chat by tonight, coach. I got you.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. But other than that, man, I'm proud of the game. It was well played, Liam. Again, thank you for putting those tactics in play. Right, no corners, no throw-ins, just good old beautiful football, open play goals, and
Let me ask you something, Laurent.
mhm.
Did it make a difference in the table?
Oh my gosh, if we're talking about impact
No,
and
no, no, no. I'm asking position as of right now after that game. Did it make any difference in where you are sitting in the table?
but it will.
No, I'm asking right now.
But it will. Sure, mate. I think it
It's a
was,
yes or no question. Did it make any difference right now? Yes or no?
but it counts heavy. Let's not, whether
The-
or not we wait, hold on. Whether or not we haven't moved from the position, this game counts a lot. Let's not take away from that, right?
This game will count a lot if you win the next game. But if you lose the next game, doesn't mean shit.
Okay, so are we losing the next game? Yes or no?
I don't know who you're facing against in the Prem. Who are you facing? Newcastle. Ooh. I'll tell you this much. You're
Mm.
not winning that game.
Okay, well, again, I think you've locked in your prediction from
Oh,
now.
100%. My prediction is a draw.
Okay, just like it was a draw last week. I mean, for this one.
100%. 100%.
Right, right. And we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, 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 100%. That's fine.
Okay.
You're allowed to have a good game.
Okay.
Two things can be true. You're allowed to have a good game.
Listen, under Liam, right? We're having beautiful games, beautiful passages of play. We're picking up points. And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time till we hit that groove and that the club is back in full effect. So you stay
Is that
tuned
what
for
you
that.
said against Arsenal? You guys
You
are
s-
having beautiful passages of play.
you stay tuned for that. You stay tuned for
Mm.
that. Actually, no, that game versus Arsenal. Funny enough, I think there was I forgot who the guy's name was that did watch it. And I believe he is a neutral. I don't think he supports either club, and he described that game as the worst football game he's seen
Mm.
in a
Did he
very
also
long
watch
time.
the Burnley game? Burnley
Uh, that I,
Chelsea?
that I don't know. That I don't know. But I'm
Oh,
commenting
okay. No,
specifically
I just want to
on
make sure
on
that we're
on,
being consistent
on
here
that
because you
game.
said the coach has had Chelsea playing phenomenal, but then I just want to just make sure that Burnley game was, included in that.
Right, right. But no, the PSG
At the
game will.
bridge, at the bridge, not at Turf Moor, at the
The
bridge.
the PSG games will. So make sure you catch that as well if you're trying to
Oh,
see what.
I
All
will be
right.
watching. Don't worry, my friend.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Whether I'm at the hospital with the babies or I'm
Mm,
at home, I will be
mm.
watching. Don't
Right,
worry.
something gives you joy, right? With
Oh,
the blessings, accompany the blessings, the new
mm,
blessings in your life, right? Good
mm,
old fashioned, beautiful football.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because I'm watching PSG and Vitinha.
ah,
You're
ah,
right.
right,
You're
right.
right.
I'm sure, but it's unfortunate that you can't depend on your club for that, and I will leave it at that.
Okay. Um.
I have a quick
Oh.
question, Laurent. Sorry, quickly. So you see how I was saying earlier, like, once upon a time under the latter years of Arsene Wenger, we were playing probably the best football in the league, but weren't winning anything.
Mm.
At what point would you, because I know at this moment in time, you're all about like beautiful football, and that's fine. We all love beautiful football. But at what point would you sacrifice, or would you sacrifice beautiful football for just results and getting trophies? You know what I mean? Like if your beautiful football is not winning anything, winning any trophies, you just want to continue and put hope in that beautiful football in the hopes that it will give you something, or if you were told like, you can sacrifice this pretty football that you think you're playing, and just win trophies or just get those tangible results, right? Would you sacrifice the beautiful football for that?
Wait, so are you seeing this in a way where you can't have your cake and eat it too? Where,
Yeah. So you're not allowed, if I give you a scenario, you're not allowed to win the league or win trophies playing beautiful football,
Jesus Christ.
but you can win football playing ugly. You're gonna get the trophies, but it's not gonna be pretty to watch.
I probably wouldn't want to give those trophies a second look, if I'm being completely honest.
So you'd rather just continue playing beautiful football, but not winning anything.
No, what I'm saying is, sure, bring the trophies, but I probably wouldn't give them a second look. If the football is horrendous, yeah, no, it is what it is. Sure, on paper we have won it, but I do pride myself in watching the game for the beautiful aspect of it. And Yeah, no, I think that's something that all fans want because again, once you grow up watching a certain style of play, certain players, um, just pure off flair, and that's also even in the game that you play, right? And I'm pretty sure you've commented on when we play together, you always say things like, "Why is the guy playing FIFA on the pitch?" Right? Because you understand, right, that you see something on TV, you want to emulate it in real life. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So sure, the trophies, right? You want to be crowned champion, um, but yeah, I would kind of have to hold my head down a bit, right? If the football's not pleasing on the eyes, yeah,
So you would basically what you're saying is you would still take the trophies and even if it means you're not playing
yeah, and
great.
then just stash them in the basement, never look at them again, kind of thing. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. I mean, because again, I'm glad that's your answer because I would have called you out on it. I mean, the Chelsea Football Club that you probably started supporting because of the likes of Didier Drogba and whatnot, and the trophies they're winning back then, they were winning trophies, as I alluded to earlier in the podcast, the ugly way, right? The Jose Mourinho style, right? Your guy, your
Conte.
icon, your legend, Didier Drogba was playing in those teams that one playing ugly, scrappy, defensive football, not necessarily flair all out
But I
attack.
but I will say
So
though that the quality of goals more than make up for what you're describing there, because there are goals in those particularly yeah, in those seasons and even in those campaigns. One of them actually I don't think we didn't win, but yes, it was like park the Bucks
hmm
type.
who's famous for that, right? Jose
Um,
Mourinho under who? Chelsea Football Club.
I don't disagree, but I will say that at least the quality of goals was to a certain level. You see what I'm saying? And
Sure,
that's
the few that
that,
were scored, sure.
yeah, and I think that's what makes the game, right? Because now we're suddenly getting into a point of efficiency, right? With the game, and even when you play FIFA, right, you tell your boy, "Ah, this is a sweaty goal." You know, we all know what we're referencing here, right? Tap ins and shit like that. Um, and yeah, no, it is what it is. But so long as there's a certain quality, there's a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain art to it. I
Certain
think this.
spit in your mouth that you're tossing like pepper.
Mm, yeah, yeah, exactly. No, and funny enough, right? When you look at, remember when Shirky did the Rabona, right, that pass? That's yeah, sure, be efficient, but at least add that these things, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. With the Martinellis and the other guys there, right? Bro, there was a segment on. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch our game when Jao Pedro dropped deep, had the ball, collected the ball, and then he's now like outmaneuvering 4 or 5 players, and then him and our boy Gusto decide to have like a whole Joga Bonito, no look passes back to back, shit like that, bro. That gives the fans, the urge to want to ole, right? And so that's what I'm talking about. Be efficient, but add in those little those subtle, spices here and there, right? In the mixture. Because if you take that away, I'm sorry, but the game is no longer the same. You know what I'm
The
saying?
game is already not the same because of VAR. The game is already not the same because the players are playing to VAR and not playing the game.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a fair point. But in terms of like the certain style, the panache, I think it's up to the players to add that in. Um, and yeah, like personally, I truly think it comes down to the players and not even the managers at some point, right? There's a way to be efficient, but do it beautifully at the same time. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
My thing is, so long as it gives you tangible results and it gives you're winning games and you're winning trophies, then I'm okay with it. I would say, I'm at the point in my Arsenal supporting life where I've seen pretty football not lead to anything. So we all play the game. Ultimately, I see what you're saying. We play the game for fun and for the flair. Anybody plays any competition to win trophies. I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So
Mm,
whatever wins you those trophies, by all means, that's the corner I'm at. Maybe I'm a starved Arsenal fan
mm,
who's, been dying for that success over the years, but
mm.
that's just me. But I'll be curious to know if you'll be happy with this Jogo Bonito, beautiful football, year in year out. If
In
the
Europa,
trophies don't follow, yeah, or exactly, or that too. I
Y-
don't think Liam will last too long if he's playing pretty football in the Europa League. You know what I mean?
No, I see what you're saying, but I will say though, like, because again, with your scenario, it was one where I don't have the other. But I think in real life, I think you can have both. I think this guy's dancing. Yeah, but I honestly think you can have both. If clubs choose, right, and it takes a certain type of manager, right? It's just philosophies at this point, right? And I don't see why you can't have both. Um, you know.
a team that can't have both, a team that's only going to be playing 40 games, a team that actually thought they were in the title race, a team that is starved for Champions League, a team that is starved for being able to beat a 10-man team, a team that is starved so much that they have to go back to their history, they have to pull out the archives to be able to sit at the current table. A team that continues to be a banter club from top down, from the Glazers to Sir Jim Ratcliffe to Bruno Fernandez to supporters like Julian. Starved. That's what this section is. Starved. Osula, bravo.
What a goal.
What a goal. And a goal around a player who may, the next time that the Premier League is being played, he might be behind bars. And he might be starved to be on the pitch. Now, I'm not going to get involved in the alleged things that are being put out there for Harry Maguire, but it is true that he was convicted in Greece. And he is going to be starved because he can't go to Mykonos anymore. Can't go to Athens. Next year, when United are in Europa and they play Olympiacos, he can't go there. He's going to be starved of performances. 2-1. Bravo, Newcastle. I think it was a harsh red for Jacob Ramsey. And I think this is very good for Newcastle, who have another stiff test against City, right? This time is at St. James's Park again. Um, but man, just this weekend, CJ, and we're gonna come to the last result. But this week, the results warmed my heart, and that goofball with the comment that he made, it just kept getting better and better and better. I don't know about you. I don't know if you share the same, you know, rhetoric as me, but man, was it this midweek was sweet.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly, I agree. I agree. Most of the ops, are our biggest rivals dropping crucial points. Whilst we get ours, you can't ask for much more than that. But yeah, I think it brings the Man United and their fans back down to earth a little bit, just a little bit.
you know who's gonna come back down to earth?
Hmm,
To dare is to dure.
poor guy,
The
man.
man is gonna get sacked.
He's probably thinking, what the hell did I get myself into?
He's probably thinking, why the hell did I take this job? And I was actually talking to a Liverpool fan that I was chatting with and a Spurs fan before um, at my son's baseball practice. They usually come in because they practice inside like a dome facility where they run soccer afterwards or footy afterwards, and they were saying how it's almost like Mickey Van de Ven thinks he's too good for Spurs, and like the tackle there he made, the bone, like it's almost like he just didn't want to play anymore. And like they 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 are going to get relegated because at this point you have Atletico Madrid coming up,
Hmm.
right? Which is not going to be easy, and you've already sacked your manager. Are you really going to sack another manager before Atletico Madrid? What message does that send? And wouldn't it be hilarious, just hilarious, for you to win a European trophy and get sacked? Like you can't make this shit up. Like Hollywood cannot even come up with these type of scripts.
In a vacuum, you guys think they're gonna get past Atletico in over two legs?
No, never. Mm-mm. After watching that game, Atletico Barca, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Laurent?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Mm-mm.
Kind of makes you think, man. Sh should have kept Thomas Frank.
The Arsenal agent.
Yeah, yeah. You
I'll
guys think
say,
so?
I'll say this much: if they had kept Thomas Frank, they would not be in the relegation battle.
Hmm.
I think if they had come out and supported him, I don't think they would have been in a relegation battle.
Right, right. And I feel like, I mean, what's even worse is that appointment, right? Because he didn't have the best record,
No,
apparently, right? So,
no. He had
mm,
lost 3 on the bounce, and he hadn't won in 8 at Juve. if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Warms my heart, CJ. We gotta get your boy back on the pod.
Hmm. I have to do a wellness check on him first.
Yeah, he might hate me as much as Laurent hates me. Just quickly, let's get the pod out for the listeners and viewers. We got FA Cup this weekend. Couple big games. Rematch Liverpool and Wolves. Um, could Wolves do the unthinkable and do go 2 for 2 in a span of 3 days?
No, it's not happening.
That game is tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Liverpool's gonna be come out with some vengeance, man.
Yeah, that is not happening.
Never say never.
If you want, we can add that into the prediction.
No, no, coach, we can't. No, the Moodle assignment is 3. We cannot do 4. Just want to stick to the script.
We can take the Chelsea game out of it if you guys want.
I don't
No,
know. That Chelsea game seems, that one can go either way.
yeah,
Well,
Wrexham.
it's only going one way. Let's just get that clear. It's only going one way. Like what?
You said that after Burnley at Stamford
It's
Bridge in the
only
Prem.
going one way. And by all means, put your money, your vote where your mouth is. If you think it's going the other way, cast your vote now.
Mm.
Mm,
We're not there. We're not trying to skip segments. We're trying to wait, take our time to get to the segment. That's the structure that we have. Um, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would not be shocked if Wolves do it again. Um, but we shall see. We shall see. Um, Arsenal travel to Mansfield Town. Um, listen, this is the only thing I'm gonna say about this is full rotation. Not gonna even give you a starting lineup. Full rotation. That's all I'm gonna say about this game.
mm.
I don't know, CJ, what you want to say, but that's all I'm saying about the game.
Full rotation. As I said before, leave certain guys at home. Don't even let them travel. Wrap them up in cotton wool. And yeah, although there's certain attacking players that I wouldn't mind playing in this game or being on the bench in this game. The likes of Martinelli, man. Like that guy's a cut player. I know he started. I think I said to you guys, or I said to you, maybe you Mehrdad individually. I'd rest all the players that started in the Brighton game, bar Martinelli and maybe in Mascara. He didn't play the full 90, so he can play again on the weekend. Oh, I
I
would
would put
probably,
Gyökeres too on the bench.
yeah, like get some of these
Confidence.
attacking players in form, man. Especially with that guy Martinelli, man. I told you guys from time, that guy reeks, man. He is he is just not of the level, man. I didn't want to see him start another Premier League game. I said this, a couple weeks ago. I said this after Wolves. That was when I made up my mind that I'm done with him. And lo and behold, he started yesterday and just absolute brain dead. Gave us nothing. It's funny, and that goes for all of our attack. And I did say, look, we're getting results, and if we get over the line with this attack, Arteta probably deserves a raise. Because boy, some of these guys, man, like, yeah. So Martinelli, he can play on the weekend. I had no problems with that. Otherwise, yeah, fully rotated squad. Mascara, again, another one from the starting 11 that probably should play on the weekend. But yeah, rest that back line, man. Keep those guys, our starting back line. Hincapié is in great form at the moment. I put him as my man of the match for the Brighton game. I think he's been one of our best players, Hincapié, over the last month or two. And man, our back line, it's just elite, man. It's elite. Where would we be without them? Where would we be without them? I said it to you guys before. I think I said it a long time ago, maybe in one of the very first podcasts we did. Our back line can get into any team in the world. But that back line is Benz, Mercedes-Benz. Our forward line, Beck Taxi. That's the imbalance of our team at the moment. For those who don't know Beck Taxi, Google it. You never want to get in one. Um, anyways. Yeah, fully rotated side. Rest our main guys. We have Champions League
Yeah.
midweek next week. Um, and I just want to say, man, like it's nice to, little dig at the Man United folks, but it's nice to play over 40 games a season and still be in all comps that we can possibly be in. We've only lost 3 games all season in all competitions. Um, we've played as much as the max amount of games that we can play up to this point. Still in all comps. Expect us to get through this one. And yeah, at that point, we would potentially be in what, a quarterfinal of the FA Cup. So, keep rolling on, man. This is where we wanted to be for years now, and we're competing on all fronts, and it's a joy to see. So hopefully, if the rotated players can't get it done for us this weekend, like I'm sorry, like then something's wrong. And it's
Yeah.
basically an audition for the cup final coming up as well, right? The
Yes,
rotated
sir.
players. I would say, yo, you
Yep.
guys all go out, Jesus, you guys, Norgard, whoever, Miles Lewis
Lewis
Skelly,
Skelly.
go out, play. And if we go out playing with that squad, we go out. But we have other things that we're getting down to crunch time in these other competitions. We just can't afford to keep flogging Rice, Zubimendi, and these guys. We have to rotate. I'm sorry. So this is the game. And if a rotated side can't get it done, against Mansfield, with all due respect to them, then we have bigger issues.
Wait, but surely Arteta makes those substitutions if you guys end up struggling.
Depends on
Uh,
who's on the
Well,
bench.
exactly. And me personally, like I said, I wouldn't even let Zubimendi or Declan Rice travel, or even Timber,
No.
to be honest with you.
Or even Saka, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, because Kai Havertz is there. You got Jesus. You
Yep.
got Martinelli. You got
Madueke.
Trossard. Madueke, who's going to need minutes. You got Lewis Skelly. You can put one of the young guys there. Max
Yep.
Nauman's back. Right?
Yeah, no, there's certain guys I legit am saying don't even travel, to be honest.
Yeah. Chelsea. Racecourse. Wrexham. Oh, my days. Laurent, better be nervous, bro. Better be nervous.
uh,
You can just see the headlights in Hollywood. The new Banter FC.
we're good. We're good.
You don't
We're
sound
good.
confident.
No, we're good, man. I'm telling you right now, we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
sure.
Personally, my mind isn't even on this game.
Hmm.
If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, but I thought you said you're not worried about anything else. So why would another game be on your mind?
Yeah, no, well, we have the Champions League to look forward to, right?
Oh.
Right. That's where we're gonna put our focus. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Even in a game like this, put on a delap. Put on
Who?
a delap.
Who's that?
A delap.
Like your lap?
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
So you don't mind if you get knocked out of this competition,
we won't.
but you obviously want to rotate and put in the lap, and you said
Yeah,
your mind isn't even so you're already disrespecting the competition and the opponent. You're saying your mind
we
isn't even
won't.
on this game.
We will not get knocked out of this competition.
Oh.
So this is a competition that you guys are winning as well, is what you're saying.
I think we can make it decently far. Yeah, 100%.
Mehrdad got a fat smile on his face.
But in terms of like this game, this particular game, yeah, no, we're not. They're not touching us. Do you guys disagree or do you guys agree?
No, this is your segment.
Yeah, no, I mean it is, but I'm inviting. I'm asking you guys a question, right? You're free. Feel free to share. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Right? Do you guys disagree or you guys agree?
I agree with the resident Chelsea fan who knows his club.
See, that's the answer I'm looking for. It's about time you show a bit of respect. And with that, make sure to cast your vote accordingly once we get to the future segment.
Okay. Newcastle. They host Man City again. This is what, the fourth time this season?
Yeah, they played a lot.
2 times in the Prem, 2 times in EFL Cup, and now again. This time at St. James's Park. Newcastle Newcastle need this more than City. Because they're Newcastle, yeah, like they just need it more. Because I don't know if they're gonna be able to get past Barcelona. And also be knocked out as the holders and then losing the way that they did at the Etihad. I think this is going to be scrappy, and I think you're going to see Joel Linton go for Bernardo Silva's ankles.
Mm.
And I think you're laughing, but I'm being serious. I think it's like, and I think,
No, I'm just
like,
laughing because what that reaction would be from Bernardo Silva. You know what I mean? You can already expect him to be up to his good old
yeah,
antics.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I think, honestly, like, I've already made my prediction for this one. I'm going for a Newcastle win. I don't think City get through this game. But
Hmm.
we'll wait to sorry, coach. Spoke out of turn. Um Fulham hosts Southampton. Port Vale hosts Sunderland. Um, Leeds head to Norwich. And then West Ham hosts Brentford. Again, another London tilt. Um, Igor Thiago, he's been. It's funny that the best striker is playing at Brentford. The best Brazilian striker is at Brentford. He's on 18 goals in the Prem. Um, who knows?
Ah, ha, ha. Uh, my friend, the best Brazilian striker is at the bridge.
You like that, ACJ?
Yeah, yeah, he definitely just trying to wind up a certain man. Pause.
Wait, what did he say after the last pod? I know how to wind him up, as well as Navi.
Mm.
Oh shit. Well, we're here, Mr. Piano. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna ask CJ about the Arsenal prediction. Who do you think's gonna win Arsenal Mansfield?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arsenal.
Okay. CJ, I'm not disrespecting you. I just know what your answer is gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Chelsea Wrexham. I was copying the Chelsea resident, CJ.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will scrape past.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I
This
think I
is
think it's gonna be tight. I think it's gonna be like a 3-2 or 4-3 game.
wow. This is crazy. This is crazy. But you guys are doing well. You know, anything to keep up with the guy at the top of the leaderboard, I would say. So,
Mm.
mm.
City Newcastle. I got Newcastle.
Mm.
What's that St. James's Park?
CJ, get your prediction in before he says you copied him.
uh, uh, hmm. There's no replays, right? Yeah. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go. Hmm.
Laurent's dying to say his answer. He just wants you to say it first.
I'm gonna go City.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm going City as well.
Wow, wow. Yo, Laurent, you can be original, you know? You don't need to copy us all the time.
No, man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about being cute here. I'm just doing whatever it takes to get over
Oh,
the
you think
line
I'm being cute?
and get my trophies.
Oh, you think I'm being cute by taking Newcastle?
I, listen, personally, I just think you got a city vendetta that you need to sort out, uh, right? Because I think you're hating on him. I think you're hating on him.
Hmm.
I think you're hating on him, and
I mean, I got 115 reasons to hit on him.
yeah, I mean, shit. There's that too. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like City is always dangerous. Even with this game, I do think I do think one of those should have been a pen. Arguably, right, the one with the simulation. I think, right, that's a fair point. Um, but they'll find a way to get over the line, in my opinion.
Okay.
If I'm being honest. So yeah, they're a good bet.
All right. Well,
Wait, who plays first in the Champions League next week, or do they play on the same day?
let's
Hmm.
see. I did it.
Newcastle plays first.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, 4 p.m. No, they all. Yeah, Tuesday, 4
Well, so
p.m.
Newcastle plays the day before.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
But they're at home, so there's no travel.
Hmm.
That also makes a huge difference. If they were going to Barcelona, then it would make a difference because they would have a 1 day of travel.
Hmm.
And City have a travel. They have to go to Madrid. Um, another one's in the books, fellas. Episode 88. 12 off being Centurion. At least we're gonna be Centurion. I know same can't be said about the blue side of London. They'll be hoping that they can just secure a Champions League spot and not play in Europa or Conference League.
I'll be
And
Centurion here. I'll be Centurion here for. I'll make it up here.
Brazil's best striker, damn, he looks good in Brentford. He's going to cause some problems in the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We will see about that.
And the starting left winger is coming out of Arsenal. Sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face.
Wait, is he actually the starting left winger for Brazil?
No, are you out of your mind?
Ron, just
No.
take a second to think about who plays for
Oh, I
Brazil.
just took it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Vinicius. Yeah, that actually reminds me because I was gonna say Rodrigo, but that guy got injured. If you guys,
Yeah, I saw.
He's done. He's done for
uh,
the World Cup.
yeah.
But I think on that bombshell of Laurent making that awful, horrendous mistake, hit that like, hit that subscribe. You want to watch some non-scripted banter back and forth about how shite Chelsea is and the best Brazilian striker being at Brentford. We got you. Twice a week. Yeah. Adios.
Let's get it.